This next video will take you through the Rix Enterprise SKU pricing modifications that we made for our March 2011 release in regards to the setup and manage SKU screen. With the March 2011 Rix Enterprise production release, we have updated the way the Rix Enterprise pricing functionality works. One significant pricing rule change and various screen changes have been made. So I'm going to talk about some highlights and then we'll get into some details. When you first go into the setup and the manage SKU screen, you'll now see these two stop signs and please read. So if you want to read the documentation that gives you all of the details on this price change model that we've done, you can click on this link and that'll give you those details that you can read or print out. In this video, I will be using the word price generically. Price could be replaced with cost, list price, perks, supplier cost, or markdown. The rules are exactly the same for each price type unless specifically noted. So as you can see, the screen looks a little different. The retail price and markdown price are now split out into their own field on the Manage SKU screen, as you see below. Now you see retail price and markdown split out. This is how the old screen looked, and this is how the new screen looks. A markdown now supersedes a retail price when both prices are defined at either a store owner or store level. The markdown will be the price the item is sold for at the POS. So now whichever price is the price that you'll see at the POS will be highlighted in yellow. So to say it a little differently, when in the same store or store owner level, an active markdown will always supersede an active retail price. This is a change from how Rix Enterprise has been handling active selling price. Previously, whichever had the most recent start date would be the active selling price regardless of whether it was a markdown or retail. The other thing that you'll notice is the Modify Cost/Prices button has been removed from the Manage SKU screen and replaced with individual icons for each price type. The cost, the retail price, markdown, list price, etc. So now you don't see that Modify Cost Price button like you did before, and they're all broken out here with the pencil icons to edit to get you to that advanced pricing pop-up menu. Or you have the size level grids that you can get in and do size overrides if you need to. The other thing that we've done is the Modify Cost/Prices button has been replaced and broken out on the various inventory screens with two buttons. So this is one of those inventory screens that receive stock without PO. It used to have the Modify Cost/Prices button and now they're separated by change cost and change price. We've definitely improved the speed and efficiency of how you enter in your prices here on this screen. You can still come in here and if you need to change the cost, retail, do a markdown, list price, you can do it all from this screen. You don't have to click on the advanced price pop-up menu. If you just need to change a retail price, you can change it here. If you need to do a markdown, you can put the markdown right here. You don't have to click on an advanced screen. So it goes a lot quicker for you. If you do need to use the advanced pop-up screen, the pencil icon is to the right of each price depending on what it is that you're trying to do. If I needed to change the cost, I could just click on that pencil icon to the right of cost and my advanced screen would pop up and say the supplier is doing a price increase. They're not going to start it for a month and I want to do it ahead of time so I can jump ahead. So I can put that price change in, I can put a future date and click on change, and when 4/23 hits, it'll automatically increase that cost for me. When you're on this screen, whatever's bold is the active price at this time. I can edit any one of these that has a start date of today or in the future. So if I click on the change button to the right here, that puts it into edit mode where I can just type in the new cost and I can click on update and that will update this line in yellow. If I need to change the one that has a start date previous to today, if I click on change, I can put an entry up here, but it's going to make a new line item. It's not going to physically change this line. I'll have a new line item down below. And that's for items that have a start date previous to today. I also can't end this. If I wanted to end something that had a start date of today or in the future, I can click on End to the right, and that will end that price change. The grid icon has been added to the Manage SKU screen for any product that has more than one size. This icon serves two purposes. First, it grants quick visibility to whether the active price has size level pricing. So this would be more if it costs more for bigger sizes or I sell it more for bigger sizes. I can click on that size level override grid. This will pop up and say, for example, starting at size 11, my cost is $52. I can type that in, hit tab. Once I leave that field, the size 11 turns green. There is no save button on here. So as soon as it turns green like that, that tells you that field is saved. The other neat thing is to make this easy. If everything from 11 and bigger was $52, I could have it on this spot and press Alt on my keyboard and the right arrow key, and that would copy all of those costs to the right. So it saves me time having to enter that same cost on each size. That works the same way if you have like a shoe type grid where you have some widths going down in rows, where if you click on that item and do Alt and hit your down arrow key, that'll copy those prices down. So if size overrides exist, the icon will be green. Otherwise, it will be white. So if I close out of this Close Advanced Pricing screen, I'll see now for the cost, my size level override grid is green. So that tells me I have size level overrides. If it's white, I don't have any size level overrides. So the second purpose of the size level override grid is it allows the user quick access to view or edit the size override grid just by clicking on it. The following scenarios will force you to edit your prices using the advanced price pop-ups or the size level pricing pop-up grid. So the first one would be if there is a size level price that it exists. So if this is green, that would force you to use the advanced menu. Notice this is grayed out in the cost. I would have to click on this for the size level grid or my advanced pricing if I was doing any price changes. The second scenario would be if the active price has an end date. So in this example, if the active price has an end date, like so, then you would be forced to use the advanced price pop-up menu. That's why this is grayed out here. So if you needed to change a price, you would have to use the advanced pricing pop-up menu. And then the other scenario would be if a future price has been previously entered. So if I click on this, I see there's a future price that's been entered, and that's why this is grayed out, where it's forcing me to use the advanced pop-up menu. And notice here in gray to the right, that tells you what's going on with that price. So this price is valid until March 25th. So if you want to know about the future ones, you can click on that and see what's going to happen and when it's going to happen. So in any of these scenarios, the user needs to use these pop-up screens to ensure that they have full visibility to the current price set. Another thing that I wanted to show you is if the user adds a new price and the current active price has size level overrides, we now provide the user with a prompt asking if you would like to copy the active size overrides to the new price. So for example, this cost price has size level overrides. So if I decide to do a new cost here and change it, the Alert Center will come up asking me if I want to copy the overrides to the new cost. So once I click on yes, if I choose to do this, that'll bring me right to the size level overrides. So I can make sure that that's accurate. If so, it changed it, and I can close out of it. So please feel free to watch the other video that goes over the general rules of this new pricing change. And then also, if you want to read the documentation that gives you all of the details, you can click on that link.